Good morning, everybody. Today's assembly is on anti-bullying. 2020 has been a difficult year for us all, and it's important that you feel supported now we're back in school. It's okay to still have mixed feelings about being back in school. Some young people may be excited about being back with their friends again, and some of you may still be worried or anxious about this new school year and what it will bring. But by coming together and reminding everyone of the need for mutual respect in our school and community, you have made a flying start. So this morning I'm going to talk to you about bullying and what we can do to end bullying now. So let's start with looking at what bullying is exactly. Bullying is deliberately hurtful behaviour. It is repeated over a period of time and done with the intent to cause someone harm or distress, either physically or emotionally. It is the repeated use of power by one or more persons, intentionally to harm, hurt, or negatively affect the rights and needs of another or others. Bullying can be physical, verbal, social, or cyber, and it may also focus on someone's race or sexuality or identity. It is important to understand that occasionally we can be unkind to each other, as all relationships, even the most positive ones, have their ups and downs. This is not considered as bullying. Bullying is repeated negative behaviour with intent to cause someone harm, whether that's physical or emotional. It's natural to simply not get on with someone, and you may not necessarily want them in your group chat or online gaming crew, for example. So when does this become bullying behaviour? The general rule is that if you are purposefully excluding someone because you know it will upset them, that is bullying behaviour. You must understand the impact your actions or words will have on someone else, and this must form the main reason for using those words or actions. It's not bullying behaviour if you simply don't gel with someone and you don't particularly want to interact with them, but it's important that you still act in a civil and polite manner. To tackle any form of bullying behaviour, it's important to foster a culture of positivity, tolerance and togetherness, which runs in line with our DISC values. With this in mind, I have revised our anti-bullying policy and I have created a student booklet so you have all the information to hand. Your tutor will give you a copy of this at the end of the assembly. It's important to understand that we all have the right to be safe from bullying, and we all have a responsibility to keep others safe from bullying. We must strive to be an upstander rather than a bystander. An upstander is someone who recognises when something is wrong and acts to make it right. When an upstander sees or hears about someone being bullied, they speak up and do their best to help, protect and support that person affected. A bystander is someone who sees or knows about bullying or other forms of violence that is happening to someone else, but takes no action to address it or report it. Every time you witness hurtful behaviour and make a conscious choice not to speak up, that choice makes you a reinforcer or a bystander. You're choosing to communicate that this behaviour is okay, thereby reinforcing it. On the opposite spectrum of bystander is the upstander. An upstander is someone who observes or experiences negative behaviour and speaks up in order to stop the behaviour from happening again. We all know speaking up isn't always easy. It takes courage to speak up on someone's behalf. But just think, by doing so, you are becoming a person of character. You are showing integrity and making a positive contribution to instilling our culture of positivity, tolerance, and togetherness by helping someone else. You can be an upstander, the person who knows what's happening is wrong and does something to make things right. This video will explain a bit more and give you a bit more information.
Right, let's be honest.
We've all had them moments.
You know, the ones where you join in on the joke.
You've liked that comment,
Taking screenshots.
called names,
whispered.
Simply never spoken to someone because no one else does.
Sometimes it just goes too far.
sometimes we just let it happen.
Sometimes we get caught up in a group or a moment.
It may have been your friends that did those things, not you, but that doesn't make it okay.
Bullying is not okay.
At the end of all this banter, there's someone that goes home each day and thinks about everything.
When it was a brief daily laugh for you and your mates.
What if that was you, your best friend, or maybe even your little sister?
Would it still be funny then?
What you say and do, or even you don't say or don't do, has an impact.
What if that was a positive impact?
Let's face it, we live in a whole different world with pressure and expectation.
But what comes with that is a power to make change.
It's up to all of us to channel that power to make change happen.
Don't laugh at that joke. Don't write that comment. Don't be afraid to speak to someone who nobody else will.
Don't invade people's space.
Be the person to say that, nah, that wasn't cool.
Choose to be an upstander instead of a bystander.
It doesn't have to be groundbreaking.
If you could collectively make these small choices, what bigger impact it would make.
If you stand up against bullying, more and more people will too.
If you stand together, your individual voices will come together as one, united.
But we all need to play our part.
Me,
You,
us,
The government, social media,
teachers,
Everyone needs to be
united against bullying.
There are a huge number of well-known upstanders, and this shows you a few of them. Martin Luther King drove influential change in America for ending segregation for African American citizens in the 1960s. Malala campaigned for equality for girls to receive education in her home country of Pakistan, and Princess Diana was a tireless campaigner for a number of charities and believed that young people have the power to change the world. Nelson Mandela led the anti-apartheid revolution in South Africa and was the country's first black head of state. And Ben Cohen, he's a talented England Rugby World Cup winner. He set up the Stand Up Foundation, which is dedicated to raising awareness of the damaging effects of bullying by fundraising for organisations making real social change. So here are 10 ways to be an upstander. You can help others who are being bullied, stop harmful messages from spreading, get friends involved in support, get your staff involved in anti-bullying, learn to spot signs of bullying, be friendly to someone you don't know, support and welcome new students, talk about your anti-bullying policy, which you'll get a copy of at the end of this assembly, accept and promote diversity and difference. This should be celebrated. Refuse to be a bystander. Refuse to stand and watch. So when thinking about ending bullying now, it's useful to have a think about the impact of bullying. More than 16,000 young people are absent from school because of bullying. 83% of young people say bullying has a negative impact on their self-esteem. 30% of young people have gone on to self-harm as a result of bullying. 10% of young people have attempted to commit suicide as a result of bullying. Those who have been bullied are more than twice as likely to have difficulty in keeping a job or committing to saving compared to those not involved in bullying. People who have been bullied are at greater risk for health problems in adulthood. They are over 6 times more likely to be diagnosed with a serious illness. They're more likely to smoke regularly or develop a psychiatric disorder compared to those not involved in bullying. So what should you do if you're being bullied? You should report it. Talk to someone in the hub, talk to a teacher, talk to your parents, or to a close friend. If you want to confide in someone and it's too daunting, why not use ePraise to initiate support? Don't retaliate to bullies. This may be hard and will require integrity. If you can safely challenge, then do. Let them know that what they're doing is wrong and they are being hurtful towards you and others. You must keep calm and above all keep talking until you feel someone has listened. It may be difficult to come forward at first, but it is important that we don't suffer in silence. There are people that want to help you. And finally, what can you do to support a friend that you think is being bullied? You should thank them initially for confiding in you, as this does take courage and shows that they trust and respect you. Seek advice and support from an adult. Someone in the hub will always help you. Often those that have bullied feel very unhappy about themselves and they think they are somehow to blame. So reassure your friend that this is not their fault. Encourage others to support your friend, as this will make everyone feel braver in tackling the issue. Tell the bully that they are wrong. Be an upstander and do the right thing.